Dear teacher, do you remember when you first became a teacher and had a world of ideas for your classroom?
When you were awake at all hours of the night, dreaming of the exciting decor you'd use to decorate your soon-to-be classroom?
When you called family and friends to assemble a classroom library and gathered furniture to make your classroom look like a home?
When you spent hours reading over your school's programs, trying to be as prepared as possible for the teaching days to come?
When you tried on the most professional-looking blouses and pencil skirts just to be taken seriously at work?
When you saved the most adorable crafts to your Pinterest boards in hopes that your future students' parents would hang them on the fridge?
When you were exploding with excitement and wonder because you couldn't wait to get this dream job started?
Us too, and then we started teaching. We soon learned that our students were just a small gleam of light and joy in a much larger and demanding occupation.
We learned that 6 hours is hardly enough time to teach, let alone make copies, prepare for your lesson, and grade papers.
We soon figured out that college really didn't prepare us for much.
That we couldn't possibly have learned how to become a teacher and a
counselor,
decorator,
bookkeeper,
travel agent,
mediator,
nurse,
detective,
janitor,
psychic,
mother,
confidant,
banker,
party planner,
police officer,
and comedian in the few years that we were at our university.
We learned that it's hard to stop thinking about our students, their well-being, and their grades even after the bell rings.
We determined that teachers make a fraction of the salaries that almost all other jobs provide, and that we're rarely compensated for our efforts.
We learned that we are constantly surrounded by others, but often feel isolated and alone.
We learned that we are never good enough, that we could always be doing more and giving more.
We learned that an unfortunate amount of our job has nothing to do with our students, but everything to do with a state-funded school district.
We learned that our hearts made room for all of our students and that we would think about them at all hours of the night and on the weekends.
We created futures for our students with them meeting their ultimate potentials, and we just prayed that their parents were supportive enough to get them there.
We learned that as tiresome, difficult, thankless, and heartbreaking this profession can be, our hearts had never been so full.
We know that the long hours have long-lasting results.
We know that the exhausting efforts towards instruction and relationships is never forgotten for a child.
We know that the tears held back in an attempt to be strong was the comfort and encouragement that our students needed.
We learned that the teachers who struggled with us are friends for life, that the lack of pay is a worthy sacrifice for moments cherished with children, and the most challenging and difficult of times were the times that we learned the most.
We know that the money spent on cheap prizes for good behavior are taken home with students with a memory of making their dear teacher happy.
We know that the most difficult of students are the ones that need us the most, and that give us the biggest opportunity to share our gifts with them.
We know that the smallest gestures and the brief moments of compassion within our classroom may be the only ones our students see.
We know that fleeting praise and small accomplishments for our students could be a grand detour that changes the course of their lives.
We know that the tears on our pillows mean that we are brave and strong.
We know that at the end of the day, all that matters is doing what's best for kids.
We know that you are appreciated and loved.
We know that your efforts will not be forgotten.
We know that you are doing your best.
We know that you are making a difference.